Hello everyone, welcome to Amrita IS monthly current affairs series, and we'll be finishing our science and tech. So in the April month we had two sessions, big sessions, more half an hour session, all of them. So and the May month also, first session we have done, and we'll be finishing with the second one. Let's quickly finish it out. So we started with the discussion on the blockchain. Because blockchain bill of rights was in news with respect to World Economic Forum. We have discussed blockchain in the January month also, but I wanted to discuss a bit in detail, so that is why we'll be discussing it. So what is blockchain? Very quickly, but let us see. So blockchain is basically like a spreadsheet, so it is like a database only. Okay, so it's a database, or it is called a ledger, that maintains a continuing growing list of data and records. So transaction you have made, that will be added to this data. But there are certain characteristics to the blockchain. First of all, it is shared publicly. So those people who are already a part of the database, they can see that database. Okay, so those are called nodes, and NODES. So every node can see the transaction being done. Secondly, automated. So software is written so that the double transactions do not become written in the data set. So transactions become automatic. Then it will be trusted. Trust is a very big factor, because once we will see, let us see from here. So for example, the network is built. Now someone requests a transaction. So that transaction has to be verified by all the nodes of the database. So when it is verified, then only it will be added to the database. So just let us see again. So if someone requests a transaction, the requested transaction is broadcasted to all person-to-person network. So everyone validates it. Okay, this is fine. Then this ADA is dated to the database. Now what that transaction can be, one of the example of that transaction can be cryptocurrencies. Okay, so cryptocurrencies are based upon the platform that is called blockchain. So blockchain is a very big thing, not confined to the cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency can only be a part of it. An example how the blockchain operates honestly. Okay, so that transaction can be a transaction on the cryptocurrency. The transaction can be a land record transaction, isn't it? So that is blockchain for you. Nothing, just imagine it like a ledger, a database. So when certain entries are done, when the new entry is being done, then it is verified by all the other users. Then there is no central authority which is controlling it. So that it is decentralized. There is no central authority like RBI. There is no central authority like government which is controlling this database. This database is regulated by the people who are part of the database. Okay, and that is why it is very important. Once you have done the database, then it will not be immutable. You will not be able to change it. So it cannot be corrupted. Okay, so just to have, because this data which is added, it will become part of each and every node. So each and every person will have the copy of that data, so it cannot be corrupted. Okay, if the majority thinks it is valid, then it will be added to the ledger. Then decentralized technology, enhanced security, distributed ledger. Okay, then consensus is there, as we've discussed. Faster settlements is there because it is being done on the consensus based upon the idea of trust. Now in the January month, Niti Aayog has come up with this PDF on a concept paper on the blockchain. So how they have defined the blockchain. So a database which is distributed, adjustably transparent, highly secure and immutable. So it is impossible to change or delete any data once recorded and accepted. Okay, so they say that it is electronic, not liable to even peer-to-peer exchange because this is decentralized in nature, right? So these are the features of the blockchain. So blockchain, just to reiterate, are the open distributed ledger that are chronologically recorded transaction between the two or more parties efficiently in a near time. Then prerequisite for each subsequent transaction to be added to is the respective consensus of the network participant that are called nodes. So the consensus of the people who are the part of the node who are giving it consensus. That is why it is based upon the trust. The key characteristics of it being decentralized, persistence, anonymity and audibility. Okay, nothing to be explained a lot. So what are the benefits of it, just to have an idea? So in the finance sector, you can say fintech, the new startups that are coming up. For example, you can say cryptocurrency, insurance sector, in the smart contract. We'll discuss in more detail in the mains time. Just to have smart contracts, one of the problem India faces is the contract enforcement, isn't it, in the ease of doing business. So smart contracts can be made, the land disputes can be solved, because it can provide a very very good opportunity to for the digitalization of all the land records that are authenticated by the all the stakeholders. So Odisha government is also working to use blockchain technology for land use. So that is being listed as a best case study by the Niti Aayog. You can use that. So in health and pharmaceutical, clinical trial data, in education sector, documentation, verification, all these 10 degree, 12 degree mark sheets and all, where the blockchain can be helpful. The Niti Aayog is also coming up with this blockchain platform, that is India Chain. So they are working on it, India Chain. So it is a Niti Aayog's working on this. Okay, so keep that in mind. So leverage the trinity of the Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and mobile. RBI itself has thinking, its research wing of RBI is working on the how to utilize this blockchain to its own advantage. Okay. So why we are reading it blockchain, very quickly we finish with the blockchains, because World Economic Forum has released some sort of principles for the blockchain, how the blockchain should be used, what should be the general basic fundamental principles one should apply while using these principles. So they have listed the 16 principles under the 4 broad headings. Okay, so it is called the global baselines for developable corporates or the government to use the blockchain infrastructure. So 16 principles which aim to protect the user, preserve the value of technology so that all can benefit. So these principles are called Presidio principles, the foundational value of a decentralized future. Blockchain is said to be pillar of the 4th industrial revolution. Other parts of the 4th industrial revolution, if you mean, so 3D printing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? Your virtual reality, augmented reality, and all these things, right? So one of the important component is the blockchain. So these principles are called Presidio principles. So the question itself, if comes, so Presidio principles are in use. These principles are related to what? Right? So what are the different principles? Just to have an idea, not very important from police perspective, because we don't expect them to come. First is transparency and accessibility. So right to information about the system. So what are the potential, for example, one is going for blockchain. So what are the potential risks and benefit? Who is the responsible authority? What are the performance expectations? Informations like this. Then agency interoperability, right of the participant to own and manage their own data, like this. Then we have privacy and security, very important, right to data protection. Then accountability and governance, right for the participant to understand the available recourse. Recourse means grievance redressal. Okay, so these are the 4 components, and overall they have identified 16 basic principles to use the blockchain. Okay, we are also rushing through a bit. Why? Because it's gonna be a relatively long video, but I hope I have highlighted all the components of it, the blockchains and the Presidio principles, the 16 part of it, what you need to remember for the prelims perspective. Remember, there is no central authority on the blockchain. Next is event bot. Event bot, what is this? This is a Trojan. So basically it's a malware, you can see. So it enters into your mobile as a legit software. Legit means legitimate software. For example, weather app, clock app. It enters your mobile as a very legitimate app. But once it into, that's why it is called Trojan. So when it enters into your mobile as a legitimate software, but when it comes, it secretly attacks your computer or phone. It targets money transfer services, financial applications. And this is what it does basically. Okay, so CERT has said, Computer Emergency Response Team of India has issued the warning against the new malware, that is event bot. Okay, right. Next is malicious software again, Cerberus. You can expect one question on these malicious software or these things, because they can ask you what they are in the recently news, what they are. We can expect one question on it. So malware, that is Cerberus. So it is again a banking Trojan. It steals all the financial data such as credit card number and all these things. So CBI has sent the alerts to states and UTs and the central agencies on the malicious software that is Cerebrus, and it is using the times of the COVID-19. As I told you many times while discussing the COVID-19, that this time it's being utilized by all the malicious people with malicious intent to use these times to take advantage of people. So you can see it takes advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic to impersonate and send SMS during the lure of the COVID-19 related content. Okay, it deploys its malicious applications. For example, it will send you an SMS, okay, get the free testing somewhere, okay, get the COVID vaccine has come, click the link to find out. When you click the link, it will download an application and the virus has entered. Okay, next is digital yuan, very interesting. So the China, all the interesting things are done by China. So China is coming up with a digital currency. So you can see digital yuan. How is it? So you will compare it with let's say PhonePe. They have WeChat Pay, or they have Alipay in China. Just like we have Google Pay and all these things, they have Alipay, they have WeChat Pay. So how it is different from these things? So you see in WeChat Pay and Alipay, sorry. So just like a normal currency, is it related to any bank? No. But WeChat, Alipay, it is related to credit card, from where you will put money into this. You will put money from a bank account. But this digital yuan, it is not connected with any bank. It is just like a single currency you have. So it will work without Wi-Fi. It will work without your data, even without data network. It uses the NFC, near field communication technology, for the transaction of the money. Okay, so just keep in mind, from the, I don't think that is important, because from the name it's a digital yuan. So yuan, everybody knows that's a currency of China, so that's not a case. So remember, it is a currency per se, it is not a digital wallet. Next is Y2K. Now Y2K was famous in 2000s. Why it is in the news? Because Prime Minister in its Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme have discussed this Y2K. So he said that while in his scheme, he said that the world has begun to trust India's ability to help mankind, and mentioned its recent medicine export, and of course yoga and Y2K. What was Y2K? So it was called 2000 year, in the year 2000. Now if you remember old 1960s, 1970s, when the data cost was huge. So what the computer programmer used to do, instead of maintaining in the terms of the date, for example, they have to write 28th August 1960. So what they will write, in the place of 1960, they will use only 60. Right? So it was thought, when it will become, okay, that's fine, till 1999 will be seen as 1999. But what about 00? Will not be seen at 1900? Then it will create a lot of problems. It was assumed, it was made such as that it will create a huge problems. So it was called a millennium bug, a computer flaw that may have caused many problems when dealing with the dates beyond 31st December 1999. Because it was thought, when it will read 00, it will lead to 1900, not 2000. Okay, that's fine. How then it is related to India? So you can see all that is written here. Now, how it is related to India? So US started hiring people to fix this bug across the globe, and India, in the engineer, have provided a lot of input, highly qualified engineers with affordable salary. So Infosys, TCS, they employed, all of employees were provided to solve this bug, and that is why our IT sector boomed, we can say. So it is said that 1998 our IT sector contributed only 1.2% of the GDP, and in 10 years it appointed 7.7% to India's GDP. So this is how Y2K is connect with India, and that is how we found mention in the Prime Minister's speech of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Okay. Next is new super Earth planet discovered. So super Earth planets have been discovered, not very important, I will say. Very quickly, let us see. So which have the mass between Earth's mass and the mass of the Neptune, the radius between the Venus and the Earth in the solar system. They have been discovered using the gravitational microlensing technique. What is gravitational microlensing? We have already discussed that in detail previously. Okay, so it's an astronomical phenomena, right? So that is called gravitational lens. So we are able to see a very far away objects, right, which we cannot see by the normal telescopes, right? So we are able to detect objects that range because of the mass of that object, right? So these, based upon that phenomena, we can get to know about those objects, and this phenomena is called gravitational lensing. Okay, so how they are discovered? They are discovered by TESS, under the TESS program of the NASA. So TESS is Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellites. So NASA's mission that looks for the for planets orbiting the brightest stars in the Earth's sky, right? Having insights on how our solar system is formed and all these things. TESS is relatively more important topic here. Next is very important topic, I'll say. This question itself can come. That is Armistice Accords. What are these accords? So these are basically the bilateral agreements between the NASA and its international partners that they want to cooperate on its RMS, I think T is silence, RMS program. So RMS program of the NASA, what is this? So RMS is NASA's moon mission. So they want to put first women and first man to the moon by 2024. So already we have discussed this, NASA's RMS mission. So RMS mission, they want to put the one woman and one man to this 2024. So basically they want to have some sort of basic fundamental rules, basic principles of the International Moon Exploration Pact. So they want to create, for example, you can say protocols, or for example, some basic constitution type thing. So okay, what should be done in the moon exploration? Because now finally we have decided to put people on the moon, right? So there has to be some sort of basic SOPs, and that is what it is, RMS Accord. Okay, so it is based upon the Outer Space Treaty, not important. So India has not clarified its stand yet, though France, Japan, Australia and Canada have already shown their support to this NASA's initiative. Okay, right. So we have discussed that many of the things from Chandrayaan 2, RMS USA 2024 and Chang 4 of China. So these are all taking strides over the moon. Next is lightweight carbon foam. So lightweight carbon foam is basically, what is this? So it's a initiative by the CSIR's Advanced Material Process and Research Institute, which is at Bhopal, which has a potential to replace the lead grid in the lead acid batteries. So innovation, the normal lead acid batteries that are there in our cars, in many of the places, to replace the lead component of it, because many of time that lead component is lot of toxicity is there. So these carbon foams are non-toxic, easy to fabricate, affordable, insoluble in water. It will be cost effective for removal of arsenic, oil, other matters from the contaminated water. So if the question comes, just question will be very easy. This lightweight carbon foam, it is in the news, what it is. So it is just for the replacement of the lead. Okay, replace the lead batteries. Okay, next is sonic boom. So very interesting concept. So basically in Bangalore, it was seen the sonic boom was experienced. So people thought there is some sort of accident is there. What happened? Some blast is there. But nothing happened. It was just a sonic boom. So it is a sound that is associated with the when an object travels through air faster than the speed of sound. Very quickly, let us see. I have kept very good. So for example, this is the source, which is stationary. Okay. So, and this is the person who is receiving the wave. Now this waves, sound waves, it is going, it is when it is not moving towards it. Okay, so the wavelength is lambda and they are constant in nature, right? But when it starts moving, for example, now airplane starts moving and it is moving at a speed which is less than the speed of sound. Now it creates these compressions in the air. These are what? These are the compression of the air molecules through which the sound moves. Okay, through which the sound wave moves. So these are the compression of the air. So now you can see this is getting close because it is moving towards this person at this. So these concentric circles are getting distorted and the close thing is here. Then if we have the speed as the speed of sound, you can see everything getting concentrated here. So there you will see a very shrill sound. And what about when the speed is more than the speed of sound? it will go like this. Let us see one video as well. So for example, let us see this. For example, this is the person and this is the aeroplane that is a rocket is that is going on. So it is started creating, you can see it started creating these conical shape, right? So finally it creates this cone shape, and at these junctures these compressions are intermingled. So a person here receives a very shrill and very high sound, right? Let us see it again. So for example, a person is there, that is human being, and it is going into the space with a speed more than the speed of sound. Okay, so when it goes, it creates a wave like this because it is going more and then it creates a cone like shape. And those who will experience here, because here you can see all the circles meeting up, when all the circle meet, they will create a lot of shrill sound, very huge sound, and that sound is called sonic boom. I hope you get it, because from this example also I have explained it. So people, for example, this house you can see, if it experience it, it will experience a very big sound, and that is called sonic boom. Very interesting concept. That is why I thought to discuss it a bit in detail. So that is discussed if it is Mach 1, speed below Mach 1, at Mach 1, plus Mach 1. So it creates a conical shape. So in the Bangalore, it was experienced no blast or thunder. It was just a fighter plane. Next is Bay of Bengal boundary layer experiment. So that is BOBLE. So it is a India-UK project. So what they do, they use the Bay of Bengal as a system, and they try to understand the ocean process in the Bay of Bengal, and more importantly the monsoon mechanism, because monsoon is a very, very intriguing mechanism for researchers all around the world to understand. So funded by Union Ministry of Earth and Science and Nature Environment Research Council of UK. So monsoons, cyclones can be predicted more accurately now, the study says, and that study is taken under by the BOBLE. Then www.ai.gov.in. So from the name itself, very clear, AI, artificial intelligence. Gov means Government of India. So National Artificial Intelligence Portal of India. So one-stop digital platform for AI related developments in India, created by National E-Governance Division of Ministry of Electronics and IT and NASSCOM. So remember this, NASSCOM is involved here. NASSCOM plus MeitY, you can remember like that. So MeitY and NASSCOMs have come together to create this particular portal. So Mr. IT Minister, Mr. Ravi Shankar has said that India's first national artificial intelligence portal. Artificial intelligence, somewhere in the mains we will discuss in detail, not very important for Prince perspective. If you want to prepare, you can prepare what is the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, so that difference can come into the paper. If possible, I'll try to cover somewhere. We still have 4 sessions of science and tech left, June, July at least. So I'll try to discuss it there. Then PAI. What is PAI? That is artificial intelligence based chatbot. Okay, so again, not very important. It is released by NPCI, and who has created this? That is Bangalore based startup, that is Cover Private Limited. Okay, so this chatbot, what this chatbot will do, it will create awareness around the NPCI's products such as FASTag, RuPay, UPI, Aadhaar enabled payment system. So that is PAI. Then we have Atulya. What is Atulya? So Defense Institute of Advanced Technology of Pune has developed this microwave sanitizer. You don't have to remember these institute, huh? Even if it is very important, then you have to prepare. Otherwise, don't prepare the institute. It will create a lot of baggage on your brain to remember all these institutions. So Atulya is a cost-effective solution to disintegrate coronavirus. Use a sanitize all these places, right? So just name Atulya. Then we have Samarth. So what is Samarth? So Samarth is basically a tool, you can say e-governance tool, to help these universities and educational institutions. Okay, these universities and educational institutions to make a more informed decisions going forward. So they basically perform the function of then access to information, right? Let us read it out. So MHRD has developed, not MHRD, it is being changed into Ministry of Education, has developed an e-governance platform, that is Samarth Enterprise Resource Planning, under the National Mission of Education in Information and Communication Technology, to automate the process of enhancement of productivity. So idea is productivity enhancement through better information management and better access to information. So if the better access to information will be there, obviously the idea is it will lead to more productivity of these institutions. Okay, so this open source, open standard enabled, robust, secure, scalable, evolutionary process automation, these words are what we say, engine for university and higher education institutions. So if the question will come, question can also come on the Samarth only. So what is Samarth? But again, not very exciting, so not very important also. It refers to type of software used for day-to-day maintaining all these accounting and procurement, right? So this is NIT Kurukshetra implement the enterprise resource planning Samarth. Samarth is an e-governance platform developed under the National Mission of Education in Information and Communication Technology of the MHRD. Next is styrene, the gas that is used in the Vizag gas leak. Now in the polity in discussion, I think the video will be uploaded alongside it or after this, we have discussed the strict liability, absolute liability with respect to the Vizag gas leak. Here we are discussing the chemical component, that is styrene gas, which was there. So styrene gas, if you are from science background, this is the benzene, isn't it? And this is the ethylene. So that is also known as the ethyl benzene, right? So vinyl benzene, ethyl benzene. So it is the Vizag gas leak. This was the gas that was leaked. It is a derivative of benzene, flammable liquid used in manufacturing of this polystyrene, plastic, fiberglass, rubber, latex, right? Found in vehicle exhaust, cigarette smokes, fruits and vegetable. Its exposure is very dangerous. So that is why a lot of people, around 13-14 people have died due to this Vizag gas leak. The short-term exposure can lead to the respiratory problems, while long-term can lead to central damage to central nervous system, right? And it is included in the schedule that it should be, some protocols are there that how strictly it should be handled. I don't think that information more than that is required. Just remember what is styrene, the properties of it. I think that will be more than enough. Next is some news with respect to those who use insulin, those who belong to diabetes 1 or diabetes 2. So the scientists at Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research have developed an injectable silk fibrorin based hydrogel, okay, for sustained insulin delivery for the diabetic patient. Some sort of hydrogel is there which will help for the insulin delivery for those who are suffering from this diabetes. Next, I think that's the last topic, that is South Atlantic anomaly. So what is South Atlantic anomaly? The question is important, it can come. So South Atlantic anomaly, it is related to the significant reduction in the strength of the Earth's magnetic field. So there are few places which are experiencing some abnormal magnetic activity, and that is called South Atlantic anomaly. From the name itself, South Atlantic, so it will be in the area of the South Atlantic Ocean. So recently the ESA scientists, that is scientists from European Space Agency, have warned that the Earth geomagnetic field is weakening in some Africa and South America. Okay, so still not clear. Possible explanation that basically it happens. Shift is long overdue. So at the interval of 2.5 lakh years, it actually happens. And last time it happened over 7.8 lakh years ago. So it is expected that we will keep on experiencing these magnetic reversals, or you can say different anomaly, magnetic anomaly. So it reversal does takes place. So it will cause a certain problems for the mobile phones and satellites. So what are the causes of this Earth magnetic field? All these things are related to our geomorphology in geography, very basic things. So some currents are there, some outer core and inner core. Please revise that, right? So what is the cause of the Earth's magnetic field? So this was the area, basically South Atlantic. There we are finding some anomaly in the magnetic field, right? So that has been detected by the ESA scientist. So I hope with this we finish our session. Let us quickly revise what we have done. So we started with the discussion on the blockchain. We have discussed that blockchain is a distributed ledger, decentralized distributed ledger. We've discussed the process, how the verification being done, how the verification forms a very important component of the blockchain. Then we discussed blockchain bill of rights, that is Presidio principles, which include the 16 principles based upon divided into 4 categories, that is transparency and accessibility, agency and interoperability, privacy and security, accountability and governance. Then we have event bot and then Cerberus, two of the malware that we have discussed. Then digital yuan and Y2K riddle, how Indians were responsible, or how Indian contributed, as our Prime Minister said, to the world while coming out of this Y2K problem. Then some new super earth planet discover. We discussed TESS here. TESS we have already discussed previously, but just to see that TESS was mentioned here, that is why we again revisited that. Then our Artemis Accord, based upon the Artemis mission of the NASA to send its first women and first men to the moon. Then lightweight first men and first women to go on the moon, right? Then the lightweight carbon foam that will replace the this lead batteries. Then sonic boom, very detailed, we have seen the sonic boom, isn't it? Then Bobble, the experiment India UK collaboration for study of the monsoon in the Bay of Bengal. Then all www.ai.gov.in. then PAI, that is artificial intelligence chatbot. Then Atulya, that is microwave sanitizer for killing the coronavirus. And finally the Samarth, that is an e-governance tool to the universities and the higher education institutions to improve the productivity. Then styrene, we have discussed in the Vizag gas leak that is there. And finally that ended discussion on the with South Atlantic anomaly. So with this we finish our science and tech also. Only sessions are left polity, that will be uploaded soon. Then only economy is left of both April and the May month. 3 sessions are there. April we have 2 sessions, in the May month we have 1 session. And with this we'll finish our May and April month very soon, and then we'll start very quickly June and July month. So see you everyone in the next session. Bye bye for now. Thank you.